So in addition to the Pilot Institute for Additive Manufacturing, which is the Department of Defense opportunity that is the Florida Advanced Manufacturing Institute is focusing on, there's another opportunity, which is the Manufacturing Demonstration Facility. And these are being run out of, this is a very text-heavy slide straight out of the Department of Energy, which is basically talking about creating collaborative shared infrastructure around targeted technology areas of interest to the Department of Energy that have broad industry application. And they want to provide a common platform for different companies to come in, share their best practices, share their ideas in a pre-competitive environment, and then come out with better solutions for each of their own processes back in their own facilities. So also a Center for Education and Training, and basically a way to be sort of a national resource for a specific area of technology. And so, they want to be providing help to facilitate users across a range of disciplines, bringing different people together, assisting selection, optimization, modeling of potential products, establishing networks around certain capabilities and opportunities, and then also maintaining and setting up a strong IP protection process in all of this. And we have in this, they are looking, the Department of Energy is looking to support something which is, in their definition, a Keystone Technology. And those Keystone Technologies are basically defined as technologies that have a diverse range of impacts that are, where the market sees a need. So they're looking very, very much for kind of private sector validation of any concept that would be brought forward for this, so that there's a private sector interest, private sector involvement, private sector driving of these things, and that there's an organization which is representative of a community. It's not just one entity that's going after it, but it's a community effort that's going after it all together as a team to bring this forward and bring it into fruition. And they want it to be, so they're looking at things that are, for example, biomanufacturing, that have opportunities in chemicals and transportation and healthcare. Carbon fiber composites is another area where, of course, you've got aerospace, you've got wind turbines, and you've got lightweight vehicles. Those are the types of things that they're looking to support in this initiative. And again, the way that this Advanced Manufacturing Demonstration Facility is different from the Pilot Institute. The Pilot Institute is specifically focused on additive manufacturing and those types of technologies. This manufacturing demonstration facility, the Department of Energy, as we understand it, is essentially saying, come to us, bring us your best stuff, we'll put something out and fund this. And the idea, anyway, is that not only will there be an initial one, which will be the one that will be funded this year, but pending future funding, there may be multiples of these, so there may be an opportunity for us to bring something forward in the future. Some other areas that they're looking at, low-cost titanium, things that, in situ metrology and process controls. This is something that we have a lot of metrology, sensors and process controls. That's an area that NASA and our area is very, very strong in. Joining of disparate materials. There's a number of things, a couple of different technologies in the area that may be able to bring to that. And you may be able, advanced separations, membranes. There may be some things that your companies, your industry are working on right now that fit into these categories. And we would love to hear about that. And so this is a slide basically just talking about kind of ways that the Department of Energy thinks that someone might interact with one of these facilities. So you set up a capability and you kind of house your capability at the facility. They help you set up and manufacture a new product. They help you manufacture a new part or a new part of a process that helps you get better at what you do back at your home facility, a variety of ways that you can interact with these things. But as a community, since this is still sort of in the formative stages, we wanted to basically kind of convene an open process to solicit input, information on what our community, what our region, what our state might best be able to put forward for something like this. We have some ideas of our own, but we really, really want this to be a community effort, community-led, industry-led. And so first of all, we're looking for, specifically going to be issuing a request for information for concept papers, where we'll be asking for information on specific technologies, specific capabilities, or industry applications in advanced manufacturing that you think would be especially strong. It might be a candidate for this type of opportunity. And likewise, we were looking to set up an advanced manufacturing steering group. And we're hopeful that some of you in this room and some of the folks that you know who aren't in this room but maybe should be in this room would be willing to be a part of that steering group and actually actively work with us to try to figure out, okay, given the sort of things that we have come out, so given the things that come through the RFI, what is the range of things that are out there? What is the range of things that really make sense? And how can we as a community move forward and make this a reality? And likewise, I mean, we would like for, and are going to be working on this to, prospectively, some of the responses to this RFI, some of the responses to the involvement in the steering group could prospectively also help with the effort in the Pilot Institute, the Florida Advanced Manufacturing Institute. And so how do we still got to work those things out, but certainly it's something that we are very much looking forward to your input and involvement in. There are also a number of other opportunities, but before I go there, I just wanted to ask if there were any questions immediately at this point on this advanced manufacturing demonstration facility opportunity. Anything that folks want to bring up?
What's the funding and the cost share?
Our understanding is the funding is somewhere in the range of 40 to 50 million. Cost share requirement is equivalent cost share from local match or in kind, cash or in kind. So it's a very substantial initiative, especially if there are two that are out there as a community. That's $100 million a match you've got to come up with, but it's also $100 million of opportunity that's out there. The initial one, there is one of these, and there's the Pilot Institute, which is the DOD one, and there's the Department of Energy Advanced Manufacturing Demonstration Facility. So there's one each, period, for now. If they're pending future funding, they're planning to do more. So given that this one's in the base, assuming there's probably maybe at least one next year, but there may be more, they're trying to get more, but you never know. If they cut the budget way back, there may be none after this. So we'll see. But that's the, yes?
I understand this is all going to be funded by the government. Is that correct? 50%.
No, 50% by the government, 50% by state, local, 50% by the federal government, 50% by local companies, state support, local government support, and or university support, and in kind. So there are some other opportunities that are out there also, and so we wanted to talk about those. We'll go through those fairly quickly here because there's, like I said at the top, this is prime season for federal funding opportunities these days, and there's a lot of stuff out there in a lot of different areas. So there's a rural jobs accelerator, which is focused on kind of rural development. Florida State University is putting together a statewide proposal for the state of Florida, and incorporating several of our sort of regional, rural, underdeveloped areas in that. If you are interested in that, you can certainly contact FSU. Their IESES is kind of running that project, and it's due next week. So it's kind of very much on train. There's also a manufacturing jobs accelerator, which is sort of an integrated process between economic development, workforce development, and other things similar to our Clean Energy Jobs Accelerator program that we are working under. That's going to be coming out soon, focused specifically on manufacturing. So that's another opportunity that's out there, led by the Department of Commerce. In the Department of Energy, there are these energy innovation hubs. There's two of them that are out this year. One is on energy storage. It's being run, there's a project being run from Florida Solar Energy Center here with some involvement from a number of businesses in Central Florida throughout the state. That is going to be due soon if it isn't already closed. It's closing in the next week or so. And there's a critical materials hub, which is all about sort of critical materials, rare earths, composite materials, other things, which is going to be coming out in a month or two. And it's going to be another sort of major initiative by the Department of Energy supported to build kind of applications to offset the need for rare earths or kind of improve access to those materials in one way or another. There's a number of other things that are out right now in the Department of Energy. So there's a if in fuel cells and hydrogen, there's an air-ground support equipment deployment that's out. It's out now, due in June. There's one on wave energy, due at the end of June. There's one on offshore wind, due at the end of this month. There's one on photovoltaics, due at the middle of June, which is actually quite an interesting initiative, has several different aspects to it. And including a link to smart grid, and I know there are a couple folks in this room actually who were looking at that. There's one on electric vehicles. You can see some of the other ones. All information on all of these is available on our website, and we'll be showing you that in a moment. There's also opportunities in small business innovation research, talking about opportunities for small businesses, what's out there, what's going on. A number of things are open now. In that area. In particular, there's the National Science Foundation. They're focusing on nanotechnology, advanced materials, nano manufacturing. There are a lot of other areas too. That one is due on June the 19th. And oftentimes these NSF ones, they're $100,000, $150,000, but there's no match needed. You just can apply for it and put in and try and create something. And I know a number of the firms in this room are using this program. Likewise, there's a Department of Energy one. Unfortunately, the Department of Energy, the pre-application was due on Tuesday. So the initial round for this year is closed. But if you did manage to get a pre-application in, the final proposals are due in 2 months. They'll probably get back to you in a month, and then you have a month to put something together for this. They have some things in advanced manufacturing, advanced materials, biomass. There's a whole range of other things. And they're going to be presenting if you're looking toward next year's round, they'll be putting out the opportunities in July for next year. And then, of course, the federal funding year starts in October. So assuming that there is a budget to work from, that project will start late this calendar year. There's also funding under the Advanced Research Projects Agency for Energy in low-cost grid-scale storage. There's a number of things in energy storage. This one is due, the notice of intent deadline's in about 10 days, and the full application's due on the 23rd. Likewise, there's another one this is also for energy storage. ARPA-E is doing a lot on energy storage this year, and the dates are the same for that. Department of Homeland Security has a series of things. Theirs should be out soon. They typically have a couple of rounds, and one is they put out the solicitation, pre-solicitation about now, and then the formal solicitation's out for about a month in June, and then they close it and award it by September. So there's a number of areas there. And then there's also a Department of Defense SBIR, and especially in relation to energy, there's cooling technologies, there's kind of lightweight generator packs, man-portable, and solar shading. And those are all due at the end of June. In terms of how we can help here at the consortium in some of this, we wanted to kind of highlight a few of the things. One of the roles I think we play is just identifying, what some of the opportunities are, helping you understand what's out there. There's a lot of things out there, and there's no way that any one person, especially if you got to be, trying to, service clients and make payroll every week, every couple of weeks. You just don't have time to go out and go hunting around on government websites to go see what's out there. But we can help kind of identify and relay some information about this. And as part of that, actually, we have on our website and I'll show this to you right now. So this is our website, and right on the website we have a document, and we'll be building this on funding opportunities. So these are all the funding opportunities that we've discussed here today, kind of specific grants, so links to the different SBIR programs, links to the advanced manufacturing programs, and as well as some of the specific Department of Energy grants. And we'll be building that even further as we go forward, so you'll have the opportunity to do that. And if you sign in on the sign-in sheet, we'll send you an email with the specific direct link to that right after this program. The other thing that we wanted to help was prospectively, it always helps to have letters of support. If it's appropriate, we may be able to provide a letter of support. We may be able to help you, review your proposal, get you some feedback, help you to find partners who might be able to help you if you need a match, or if you just need some partnerships in kind of building your program. This is all, it's part of the community building, it's part of bringing in, and part of that is, helping our individual companies identify identify and leverage the capabilities that we have in the region to go out and win the funding that you guys need to keep moving and building and developing your business. In addition to what's going on at the federal level, we have a number of things going on at the state level. There was an energy law which was finally passed this year for the first time in 4 years. So we have about $1 million per year in sales tax exemptions for renewable fuels. We have about $20 million in tax credits for renewable energy generation. We have some work on biomass and some work on the power kind of diversification of our power generation. They did also eliminate the renewable portfolio standard for the state, which had never been actually implemented. And then specifically in a couple of areas, they have in ethanol and electric vehicles, they allowed unblended gasoline. They provided some support for electric vehicle charging where you weren't considered a utility if you set up an electric vehicle charging station. And they also set up, which is actually probably the biggest part of this, they set up an opportunity for local governments, if they wish, to use their local infrastructure surtax to support loans, grants, or rebates for energy efficiency improvements for residential or commercial property. You have to go through a referendum process for that, but it is a new kind of potential designated funding stream specifically for those types of activities, and that's potentially very important. Furthermore, directly for the businesses involved, there is a $100 million program called the State Small Business Credit Initiative. And this is kind of given from the Department of Treasury to help leverage credit toward small businesses. They want to help improve the process for small businesses to access credit. And so they have a couple of programs. One's called the Florida Capital Access Program for about $20 million. They have the Florida Venture Capital Program, which is, I think, up against, kind of matching of venture capital funding to the tune of $43.5 million. And then they have a specific small business loan support program for $33.5 million. These are all run by the Florida Department of Economic Opportunity, and more information about how and where that is, you can get information about that is on that information on our website, and we can certainly kind of give you some more information about that going forward. This is a brand new program. They're still sort of getting it started up and running it, so it's not all of the parameters are quite defined to the point that we can give you a lot more information than this, but it is out there and it is an opportunity. In addition, just in terms of incentives, there are a number of incentives that are out there. As our consortium, we work very closely with a lot of our partners in the economic development community. And if you're interested in incentives, the state and local agencies, the economic development commissions are really the ones that we can give you a referral, and they can take the lead in doing those types of things. And really, in many businesses, I mean, incentives are really, they're sort of icing. If you can't do your business model straight up on where things are without incentives or without subsidies, then maybe you should be looking at a different business, unfortunately. And so, I mean, and the exceptions are, areas where, there's specific permitting, training, transportation, or logistical issues that get in the way of developing your business. And then there are specific things that probably can help in this bucket. But there's a lot. There's about $900 million that the legislature just passed in sort of all these different areas. Quite a number of different programs that are available. And then there's specifically kind of the governor's fund is about $96 million for these various kind of incentive programs for businesses who are interested in expanding or bringing business to Florida. And there's also kind of $10 million for Space Florida and $16 million for Enterprise Florida to support businesses in their areas. In addition, there is also the Florida Department of Transportation Road Fund. If you're building something and you need road improvements, that may be able to help you. There's also the Florida Opportunity Fund, which is being funded as from the pension system as an opportunity for investment in Florida businesses. They had an initial round that I think they're sort of wrapping up now. There may be some future rounds that are coming available, but there's going to be a gap at least until about July until they get to that. So in terms of the next steps, we would really like to kind of discuss specific opportunities, specific kind of teaming opportunities around these different things that we have talked about today. Specifically the Pilot Institute for additive manufacturing, the Advanced Manufacturing Demonstration Facility, and then if there are specific interest in teaming around certain of the specific grant opportunities that are out there now through Department of Energy, others certainly are interested in hearing about those as well. And then finally, we are very much interested in kind of having a discussion about being involved in this advanced manufacturing steering group that we're putting together to talk about some of these opportunities, get some involvement from the industry in how we kind of move forward on this stuff. And so I'd like to, first of all, open it up for questions and discussion, but maybe even before we go to that, maybe we can just go around the room and have everybody sort of stop, restart, have everybody introduce yourself so everyone knows who's here, what's going on, and then we can have some good discussion about some of these specific opportunities.